Hello, it's Rob Blackburn again, here to show you some other cool web HTML5 stuff. Today, one of the things that I've been using a lot lately is the HTML5 boilerplate project. And more specifically, what we're going to be looking at today is the mobile boilerplate project and the Ant build script project, all done by the same guys that do the HTML5 boilerplate project, but specifically designed for mobile. And of course, the Ant build script project is the Ant build script stuff. So what this does is, using these two together, it allows you to set up a project. If you have a new project you're starting, it allows you to set it up, get it going quickly. Boom, done. You just unzip these two things, get it going, and you're ready to go. You don't have to worry about all of the JavaScript compiling, the CSS minifications, the HTML minifications, and the joining of all the files and all that great stuff you should definitely do every single project. But you don't have to set it up every single time, which can take up a lot of time. And really, when you have a new project, you just want to get into that project. You don't want to have to set up all this stuff. So that's what these two projects together do for a mobile application. And so I wanted to show you how you get it set up. It's very straightforward and easy, and I'll show you. So for those of you who don't know, the Ant, just so you know what that is a build script tool. It allows you to I've historically started using it myself, originally with Java, where you would execute a script that would compile and zip it all up or put it into a jar or a WAR file. And this kind of build step process, run your unit tests, all that good stuff. Same method, same mindset here, where we're going to run this Ant script. It's just going to compile everything for us, validate everything for us, clean everything up, follow all those best practices that we should always be following anyway. And so these two projects make that very quick and easy just to get set up. So let me show you how that's done. Before I show you, let me just kind of give you the high-level steps that we're going to follow, just so you kind of have a overview of just how quick and easy this is going to be. Really, all you have to do is download the mobile boilerplate project, download the Ant script project, start a new project in your IDE, whether or not it be WebStorm, Eclipse, or if you're using, some Notepad, you just make a folder. Whatever you're doing, start a new project. Unzip both of those projects, Mobile Boilerplate Project and Ant Build Script Project, into that, just right on top of each other. They go together well, they're like puzzle pieces. And then you just execute the Ant build file. If you don't have Ant, of course, you have to install Ant very quick. If you have Windows, it's just there's a cool install app called Winant that I'll show you to get that set up very quick and easy, just to download and install, and you're done. And that's it. You get all those things done. You run that Ant build script. You're ready to go. So let me actually jump in and actually show you doing that. All right, so here we go. And so, as I said before, the first three things you're going to need to do is install the mobile boilerplate, which you can find here on GitHub. I'll have the URL posted in the video comments or the video details. So you can either, if you're familiar with using Git, you can, of course, just check out the project, clone the project, and get the content that way. If you're not familiar with Git or not comfortable with it, you can actually just download it right here. There's a little button that you can download the zip, and you can just download that right from here. Then you need to go to the Ant build script by the same guys. Again, it's the HTML5 boilerplate team. And again, you can either use Git and just clone this repository, or you can download using this button here. The next thing that you should go ahead and do now, since we're in the process of downloading, is if you're using Windows and you don't have Ant installed, the quickest, easiest way to do that is to use Winant. Linux and Macs have similar projects right there on the Ant build script homepage. They've actually got a lot of links to all sorts of great tools that you can use to get Ant quickly installed. But again, if you're using Windows, Winant is the quickest, easiest. So you can just download that here and install that. It's a very fast download, very fast install, very lightweight, and I highly recommend it, because installing Ant can be a bit of a pain at times. Okay, so here we're going to go ahead and install Winant, just so you can see this process. And you can see it's a very simple install. And you just walk through the basics. Now, you do have to have Java installed. and it has to be the JDK, unfortunately. So if you don't have that, you'll need to download it from the internet. And you don't have to do anything special after you've downloaded it. You just download it and unpack it like you normally would. And it's just, unfortunately, the JRE itself isn't sufficient, so you do need the JDK, the developer kit itself. And the rest, you just take the defaults, and it installs. So like I said, the only trick here is you do need the Java JDK, which is just a download. Download and unzip. It's not something difficult. And the rest is just an install. And once this is done, you'll have Ant ready to go on your system. And there you have it. We've now downloaded the 2 projects, including WinAnt. So what I'm going to do is, just to keep it simple, I'm going to actually just make a folder for my project. Now, of course, your IDE probably has its own way of making projects, but I want to show just how easy it is to do this whole thing. So I'm just doing a straight up normal folder, nothing special here. So just named example. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the entire boilerplate project template, which basically just means moving all of these files in here. That's it. Just copy the entire mobile boilerplate contents into your project, and you can see what it's done is it's basically just made a basic template layout. You got your index, you've got your htaccess files, your 404s, your fav icons, your cross-browser XML, cross-domain XMLs, all this good stuff, and a nice structure that's kind of a standards compliant structure for your site. Basically just sets all this up. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a new folder called build, where I'm going to put, you guessed it, the build scripts. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to take the contents of the ant build zip file and put them in there. Easy as can be. This one takes a second because there are a couple jars in there that I think it's unpacking, and this will pretty much set us up. And there you have it. We now have our file structure. We have our basic mobile web app with a build directory with all our build scripts in it. Now that we have everything all set up and ready to go, what we do need to do is edit the index file. I'm going to just go ahead and do this with Eclipse since I've already got it configured to open with Eclipse. So what you can see is that the index itself is just an empty HTML5 page with a bunch of standards compliant stuff, including your fav icons, your Apple Touch icons, but no real content. And that's what we need to throw in here, just so we have something we can actually see on the page. So I'm going to enter in a hello world entry. So there we go. Now I'm just going to jump back here, open this up with a web browser. And you see we have a very, very, very basic mobile web app. So let's move on to actually compiling and building this into a production-ready application. To do that, I've opened up the PowerShell for Windows, or any command line, of course, works. I've changed my directory to the project file itself, and let's take a look at what's inside here. You can see it's the project, and we have our build file. So I'm going to change to the build directory, and all I have to do is actually write ant, and there it goes. You can see it's very verbose. It's telling us everything it's doing, so you can get a real respect for just how much work it's doing to make our app as efficient and mobile production ready as possible. Okay, I just flash forwarded real quick for you because it does take a minute for that to run. In fact, it took 49 seconds for this script to run. But before I close this, I wanted to just show you all the great stuff it's doing, because it does tell you as it goes. You can see it's doing the HTML clean, it's doing a JS docs, CSS, where it's copying and compressing. You can even see it's doing some image manipulation, where it's doing some optimizing of your PNGs and such. So a lot of great stuff it's doing for you right out of the box, just to make your app as clean and sleek as possible. So I can close this now and open up the directory again. And I can actually go ahead and take a look, and you can bump around here and look at the actual structure of things. And you can see it's got a publish folder, which is where I believe it's put everything you can now publish. And there you have it. It's that easy. I've now installed a basic mobile template. I've installed a build script into that template. I've executed that build script and ended up with a production-ready mobile web application of a very basic form. But that's where you start. You know, when you're starting a new project, you get that running, you run that Ant script, and you're ready to go. You know, you can jump right into actually building your application instead of screwing around with all the compilers and minifiers and all that good stuff. You're ready to go. So I'm a huge fan of doing it that way. I love the HTML5 boilerplate project in general. They have a lot of great stuff. If you get a chance, jump onto their website and check out all the cool things they do. They do a lot of great stuff. So, you know, this would be a process you would run running that Ant script that you would run just before publishing to production or to test to make sure that the minified and compiled version of your app is still running as expected and to do those final tests. But, you know, doing your normal development, you just make your changes and be testing your normal web app, and then you'd create the published version and test that and then push that one to production. So it's kind of a final step before going live. But, you know, like I said, it just makes things so easy. So, you know, and there's so many things in there that, you know, if you don't do right when you first set up your project, you're going to have to do later. And if you do it later, it becomes a huge, huge pain in the neck. Trust me, I've been there jumping into legacy projects, and it's just such a pain to get all that stuff retroactively built in. So it's always, always best to just start off doing all those best practices and start off doing it right. And the HTML5 boilerplate project guys made it very easy to do that. So, so that's it. Thank you for watching. And of course, you know, shoot me some comments if you want to see different videos or other content, or, you know, my LinkedIn profile and my Twitter profile. Feel free to jump in there. And thank you again. Have a great day.